I told Edry I'm going to start with a mustache. So I'm going to give you some really quick poinsettia tips today. Poinsettia, however you want to say it. These beautiful red, pink, white, multicolored flowers that we get at Christmas. And the first thing I want to tell you, if you live in a state like I do, like Nebraska, these are not meant to last, and you should not feel bad when they die, because they will die. To keep them an entire year and make them bloom again is like an act of God. I'm not kidding. You got to keep them in the dark. You got to only water them so often, and it's just a big complicated thing. In the greenhouses where they grow in the dark pretty much, guys, and they go in with the infrared goggles to water and take care of these things. It's amazing that we can sell them for what we do. But to make it last during the holidays, I want to give you some tips. Years ago I did a video, and I just thought, it wouldn't hurt to refresh a video for this, because people are paying for these and we want them to last. The first thing you want to do is not overwater them. People tend to water them, and they come and they'll be wrapped in cello like this, and if you can feel gathered water at the bottom, you're having too much water in there. You want to let it dry out in between waterings. It'll get kind of lightweight. They will droop if they're not watered enough. But if you can put your finger in the soil and it feels dry up to your first digit, so that means like where that bends right there, not up here, that's your second. If it's dry, you need to water. And just enough water to get that, think of that soaking through a little bit. So probably like about, I don't know, depending on how big. This is a 6-inch, and by 6-inch we mean 6 inches across the top of the container. It never means the plant. It means at the top of that bowl, however many inches. And this is a 6-inch. So I would probably put about a half a cup of water in there when I water. Maybe a little bit more if my house is super dry. I never want to put this by an air vent. That will dry it out quicker. And I don't really want it in direct sunlight either, because that can burn the petals. So sometimes you'll see they get like a black edging, or they dry up really bad. You will have leaves and petals drop. That's a normal thing because we're living indoors, and these are an outdoor plant normally. If they grow in their own habitat, they grow into like really large bushes and trees. And so they're a viney type of plant, and they're just not made for our kind of weather. So one thing that happens is sometimes you have, like, especially if you have pets, or like dogs with big tails, or you have little kids and they run around, they'll bump a plant, and everybody always worries about these being toxic to pets. If your pet is eating a poinsettia plant, you got bigger problems than the plant. So if that gets knocked off and you get a stem knocked off, or you just want to do this, people don't realize that, I'm going to cut this one, you can put these in water. So to put them in water, they do get a sap like a milkweed. You can see where that white is starting to accumulate. Does that show up on the video? So that's not good, because that will go into the water and kind of be reabsorbed. So I would go through and I would trim off all the places that will have an edge, and you can see where that sap is immediately coming out. And I'm going to take a lighter, yes, a lighter, and use my flame to just scar that real quick and seal that sap. And you might say, but Tammy, isn't that going to kill it? It won't. It's going to kind of harden that sap, and I'm taking it up there with the little tip of the flame and cauterizing it, just like we'd cauterize a wound. And so then once I do that, that's sealed off, I can put that into my vase, and that will take up water from the sides of the stem. It's how the plant grows. It's just how it works. Nature's amazing, isn't it? And it will last in that vase until it's like, like a normal bloom. It'll get tired and it'll grow old. You do not want to get this sap on your tablecloth or anything like that. So if you're going to do this process, do it over a countertop or a surface that you can wipe, clean and not get it. You don't want to get it on your clothes, because it's a sap. It's like going to be a mess. But then you could have pretty little flowers. Maybe you want to put it down your Christmas table in vases, like little bud vases, and not keep the plant for the rest of the winter. That would be a nice way to finalize using the plant. Sometimes, and I don't know if you can close up on this one, you'll get more little heads in there. See how the new one's growing in there? You could let that one then keep growing, these tinier ones, and see how far you can get those into the season of spring. They will get leggy if you've ever tried doing this before. And I wouldn't really recommend trying to keep them and grow them in your home. They're just a lot of work, unless you're really into that, and if you are, you already know how to do that. So that's our quick tip for today. We hope it's helpful. Feel free to come see us anytime at Accent Floral. We're at, what's our address here? I just went blank. We're in the Westgate Center in Columbus, Nebraska, and we're right down from Fort Western, and we're on the south side of Hobby Lobby. Our phone number is 402-606-4713. Thank you.